Now let's turn our attention to other peripheral issues that factory farming affects, such as people who work in slaughterhouses, humane washing, do you know what this refers to? Egg labels, which are confusing and misleading, and finally, what the future potentially holds for the future of the meat industry. Let's look closely at the situation for people who work in a slaughterhouse. Immigrant workers make up a large percentage of people working on factory farms in the United States. Immigrant workers receive little to no job-specific training. They are less likely to report workplace hazards and injuries. They perform dangerous jobs, and they subject struggling animals to processing. Let's look at each of these issues. Immigrant workers on factory farms in the United States do not receive sufficient job-specific training or safety and health information regarding the hazards associated with these jobs due to limited English proficiency, since training is most often provided in English, which leads to workplace accidents and injuries. The turnover rate in slaughterhouses can exceed 100%, which impacts the amount of training that needs to be provided. Slaughterhouse workers perform dangerous jobs, moving stressed, aggressive pigs among tight, confined spaces, for example, or gathering and catching panicked chickens as quickly as possible. The dust from this task may result in severe respiratory illnesses. Factory farm workers may also have to subject struggling animals to processing, performing amputations such as tail docking without anesthesia, or kill them by crude means such as manual blunt force trauma, which is slamming piglets' heads on the floor or wall, also referred to as thumping. Although thumping is not a preferred method of culling, it is used as a third-tier method of depopulation if piglets are sick, weak, or too small to be profitable. While illegal in some regions and condemned by animal welfare groups, thumping remains a standard and legal practice in some countries, including parts of the United States and Canada. Imagine having to engage in these cruelties day after day in dangerous and dirty environments. Are you familiar with the term humane washing? Humane washing is a marketing strategy used by companies to make their products appear more ethical and humane than they may be. It is the practice of making misleading claims about the treatment of animals or the conditions in which they are born, raised, or killed. It can be either misleading labeling or advertising, akin to the greenwashing of products to make them seem environmentally friendly. Misleading labels hide the brutal conditions in which these animals lived, leaving shoppers unaware of the suffering their food choices support. You can find humane washing by looking for phrases such as organic, free range, ethically sourced, grass-fed, pasture-raised, humanely raised, local, high welfare, responsibly sourced, or images of happy cows or chickens with lots of space, for example. In summary, humane washing efforts can range from using terms like natural or responsibly raised on labels or in marketing, such as showing animals in picturesque green pastures when they were actually warehoused in dark buildings. Don't be fooled by all the labeling. Dig deeper. Let's talk about the labels that we find on egg cartons. Some labels go by the testimony of the farm owner or manager, or some companies providing certifications for compliance, which have site inspections that may be pre-announced or have scheduled visits. Certified Humane and American Humane are two organizations that aim to improve the welfare of farm animals and are worth looking into. Problem is that investigations have uncovered abuse in between inspections. Now, this is a quote. Investigations by the Animal Welfare Institute into the label approval process of the USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service have revealed that the agency does not adequately review high-value animal raising claims such as free-range, pasture-raised, or humanely raised. In fact, the Food Safety and Inspection Service has approved a majority of such claims based solely on brief affidavits submitted by producers, or worse, based on no supporting evidence whatsoever. Moreover, the agency allows producers to create their own definitions of the terms used in many claims. Unquote. In summary, labels may not be as you are led to believe. Where there is a certification process for humane treatment on the factory farm, there may be abuse in between inspections. For cows and pigs, babies are still taken away immediately or soon after birth. In the end, all these animals, certification or not, go to the same slaughterhouses as any other animal not under certification. Egg labels can be very confusing, so let's look at what each label means. Humane washing occurs on some carton labeling. Cage-free, free-range, and pasture-raised refer only to the amount of space the hens are provided. Let's look at each label. Caged hens never see the light of day and are kept in cages for their entire egg-laying lives. The package will not state caged. If the carton does not indicate otherwise, assume they are from caged birds. Caged-free hens do not live in cages, but how much space they have is not specified or whether or not they see the outdoors. Usually these birds are confined in a barn or similar facility, and their living conditions can be cramped. Free-range hens are supposedly given continuous access to the outdoors. The key word here is access. Most birds seldom see the light of day because this does not guarantee that a hen ever actually stepped foot outside. It just means that there was a way for them to do so, and they likely did not step foot outside. It's a small step better than cage-free. Pasture-raised is the best option for welfare and health as the hens are able to be out all day. The hens tend to be out in the morning and then go back in before nightfall, and this is the best option. Remember that the terms organic, non-GMO, vegetarian, and omega-3 enriched refer only to the feed, not the conditions that the hens live in. Please choose pasture-raised eggs or locally farmed eggs where possible. Although best of all is buying from a local farm, let's remember that regardless of the living conditions on factory farms, these birds endure beak trimming and meet a painful and terrifying end, as we've discussed prior. Also, approximately 50% of chicks are male and are killed, as previously discussed. Let's try to reduce our egg use, which will affect the number of birds raised for egg production. Now that we've discussed humane washing for various products, please watch this 1-minute video that does a good job of explaining humane washing. The link for the video on humane washing is listed below. I highly recommend that you watch this next video, especially between the minutes of 2 and 11, as it relates directly to this presentation. Then following the video, I have listed for you some recommended reading, movies and videos, and products, as well as recipe links. The link for this video, Eating Our Way to Extinction, is listed below. Here is some information for you on ways to tailor your diet. Are you familiar with the variations of diets which eliminate all or some animal products? This list helps to clarify the differences. Take a look and see if one of them appeals to you, and perhaps you can start a paradigm shift. But remember, slowly is okay too, and small choices make a big difference. I've prepared a listing of recommended reading that addresses factory farming in various ways, along with a short description of the book's focus. Here is a listing of movies that focus on animal agriculture and are all very well done and worth watching. This list of recipe websites will provide endless choices in all categories. Please check them out. These plant-based products are my favorites, and I recommend them. However, if you try a brand and you don't like it, try another because they are all very different.